You hear time and time again that you should never give up. You of course need to go through the obstacles to reach your success. Sometimes it may be best to fight on despite all the difficulties. But other times it may be smarter to quit. The sooner you quit going down the wrong path, the sooner you can start going down the right path. You may be lucky, like Tiger Woods, to find your path at 3 years old and carry on down this path for the next 20 years until you become a world champion. Though for most of us, we may not be so lucky to pick the right path, at least the first time. Update your numbers. You probably did your research to find out what was the right product, location, and even time to launch your new business. Unfortunately, the real world doesn't care about your research. Once you start, the numbers may be completely different from what you anticipated. If you're getting much less customers or the growth rate is much slower, that doesn't mean you need to quit. Go back to your plan and put the new numbers in. See what it means. Maybe it means you should halve the floor space or halve the amount of staff. Go ahead and do that. But it also may mean that the business is unworkable. And in that case, it's best to quit sooner rather than later. Sometimes it just takes longer than you think. Success often takes longer than we think. What may look like overnight success from the outside often took years and years of struggle out of public view. You need to be tracking your growth. Focus on the long term and forget about the daily ups and downs. Often what happens is we're just growing slower than we hoped, and this causes us to lose motivation and quit too soon. Though, if you've looked at the numbers and you haven't been growing at all for a long time, it may be time to quit. Quitting doesn't mean giving up on your goal. It simply means quitting a bad strategy so you can replace it with a better one. Time may have changed the rules. Time changes the rules, and most businesses are forced to change over time. You may have to quit a strategy that worked in the past because everyone is doing it now, or simply technology has changed. Eventually, you'll have to quit old markets and old products in favor of new ones. You'll have to quit old methods so that you can replace them with new ways of doing business. Sometimes these changes will be sudden and temporary, like during a global health crisis. And other times they may be more permanent and gradual, like what the internet has done to business over the last 25 years. Make quitting easy. You may not be one of the lucky few to get it right the first time. That's why you need to make sure that there's a second and possibly a third time. You of course need to remain optimistic, but you also need to be realistic. You need to have more than one bullet in your barrel if you're hoping to hit your target. You can do this by making it easy to quit. One way to make it easy to quit is to figure out how to quickly and most importantly, cheaply test out your new idea. The more time and money that you invested in an idea, the less likely you are to quit a bad idea. Sometimes you have to quit success. You may have been running a successful business for some time now, but you may have another idea of another business that could be even better. Sometimes you need to have the guts to give up success in search of greatness. Quitting isn't something that you should do in a panicked state. It's something you do after reflecting on your past results and taking a decision. Quitting doesn't mean rushing into the latest trend like blockchain, AI, or crypto. It means taking a long-term view of what this means for your business and adjusting your strategy accordingly. After all, it doesn't pay to be the first, it pays to be the best.